that basketball. They're playing basketball without that basketball.
Damon Bruce here. Welcome to the NBA here on 2K Sports. It's Tuesday Hoops, and it's next. It'll be the Chicago Bulls facing off against the Detroit Pistons. And now it's game time. To call the action, here are Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke. I'll be back with the HP.
Greetings, everyone. Kevin Harlan here alongside my partner, Steve Kerr and Clark Kellogg. Glad to have you join us. It's the Chicago Bulls taking on the Detroit Pistons. Let's check out Chicago's starting lineup. They've got Grant. John Paxson is out there with Michael Jordan. Then there's Pippen. And it's Cartwright in at the center. And for the Pistons, Joe Dumars is out there with Thomas. Then there's Mahorn. Then there's Bill Laimbeer. And it's Aguirre in at the 3, the small forward. Jordan kicks to Pippen. Moving it around nicely. And here is Cartwright. It's hauled in by Thomas.
Now you can see why the defense is willing to let him take that shot. That's really not his range.
He passes it to Laimbeer. Grant against Mahorn. Unloads from 9. Cartwright using his tremendous length to grab the board. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, thank you. I spoke with the Pistons head coach for just a bit. At this point, we know what works for us and what doesn't in terms of our scoring options. Now it comes down to our ability to execute and not let the defense dictate what we're trying to do. Guys?
Wonderful.
All right.
Stuff, Doris. Thanks. The early game plan. Clark centered around their offense, it sounds like.
Yeah, and I think...
All right, y'all, my bad.
That's fine as long as they don't sacrifice anything from an effort standpoint at the defensive end. Yeah, exactly. And I like the strategy, guys, because when you get off to a good start offensively, you feel good about yourself, and generally that energy carries over to the defensive end as well.
Cartwright against Laimbeer. Cartwright misses.
I like the work there, contesting that shot that looked like it was going to be easy, but they forced the miss. You know what? He got it in close, but couldn't finish in traffic.
Now, here's Thomas over Jordan. Thomas gets the bucket. Thomas got his first bucket in this one. Now, the Bulls with it. Grant outside. Jordan against Dumars. And Jordan gets it to go.
Boy, he just seems to score so easily. The game comes very simply to him.
Thomas passes to Mahorn. And not sure what he was thinking there. And here's the break. Here's Jordan. Lifts up. That ball. Nice speed that time from Scottie Pippen. 6 points for Michael Jordan. Thomas, guarded by Paxson. Good look. And again, it's Isiah Thomas. And this game is tied up now.
We see very few mistakes from him at that end of the floor.
Up top, Pippen. Releases from 15. Paxson commits the loose wall foul. That's his first foul.
He was climbing all over the defender on that one, no doubt. Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, a pretty easy over-the-back call right there, partner.
James Edwards checked in for Detroit. Rodman comes in for Mahorn. Sellers checked in for Chicago. Vincent comes in for John Paxson. Here's Thomas. The shot misses. Now Chicago takes it the other way. It's Pippen on the wing. Jacks up a three. Again, the miss by Pippen. Here are the Pistons with the ball. Thomas dishes to Dumars. Moving it around. Deflects the pass. 13 feet out. Detroit, no good that time either. And so here is Chicago. From about 19 feet. And yes, sir, that one drops. Here's Thomas. There's 1:26 left here in the first quarter. He dishes it to Dumars. Guarded by Jordan. Here's Aguirre. Over Pippen. Detroit, no good that time either.
Terrific defense by Pippen, and that was a hallmark for him. He's a great defender, either on the ball or in the passing lane. Michael Jordan may go down as the greatest scorer in NBA history, although Kareem Abdul-Jabbar may have something to say about that. But in the 86-87 season, he scored 3,000 points.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Bill Lambert's checked in for Edwards. Sally comes in for Aguirre. And it's Johnson in for Joe Dumars. Thomas with another miss.
Tell you what, things just aren't bouncing his way this quarter.
The pass to Jordan. Isiah Thomas covering. Cartwright working against Rodman. Tries to keep it alive. And the Pistons recover.
Well, that was not an easy play, but he made it look routine.
Clark, this offense has really been clicking.
No doubt about it, giving the defense all kinds of trouble. And they're playing with so much energy offensively. The ball is really moving.
Chicago leading. Outside Jordan. Passes it to Vincent. Cartwright with it. Looking for his first bucket of the game. 4 on the shot clock. From deep, Jordan, and play stops as it looks like they call an over-the-back here.
Well, it's an over-the-back foul, but it's one that you can live with. He's trying to be aggressive, and I like that. Yeah, you know, I used to do that as a player myself, Steve, but you've got to be smart about going over the top. I don't think he had a chance to get that rebound anyway.
And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first. Well, it's been a tight one so far as we get the second quarter going back here. Here's Dumars on the court right now. Second quarter for the Bulls. We got Hodges. Cartwright is out there with Grant. That's John Paxson. And it's Pippen in at the 3 spot. Pippen against Aguirre. Up with it. There's the dish to Lambier. This one for 3. Good on the shot. Lambier's got the first basket of the second quarter for the Pistons. Jackson kicks to Pippen. That's Johnson picking him up. Pippen, the pass to Grant. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Dennis Rodman. First team is first.
And he makes the first.
2 shots.
And so he hits both. Here's Dumars. Over Paxson. Again, the Pistons good for 2.
This is an interesting matchup. Neither team has been able to get an edge. I tell you what, it's been enjoyable to watch this one. I mean, they haven't given an inch to each other, and neither side is backing down in this one.
18 feet away. Pippen misses.
A 7-time rebounding champion in the NBA for Dennis Rodman. Only Wilt Chamberlain won more rebounding titles. And, you know, for a couple of seasons in the early 90s, guys, Rodman averaged over 18 rebounds a game. I mean, you think about his size and what that means, those are ridiculous numbers.
The Pistons trailing. Now Dumars. Back to Rodman. Shoots over Grant. And the Pistons getting another bucket right there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dennis Rodman could score in college. In fact, averaged 26 points per game, shot 64% from the field. Rodman could have done more of it in the NBA, but really wasn't his focus. He was a defender and a rebounder.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Isiah Thomas checked in for Detroit. Chicago also making some changes. Sellers comes in for Bill Carter. Davis is subbed in for Horace Grant. Here's Paxson. Puts it up off the inbound and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot two.
Great awareness by fouling on that layup. Make him earn 2 points. Yeah, I think that's a no-brainer. I mean, send them to the line instead of giving up an easy 2.
Good on both. Here's Thomas. Shoots from 12. Again, the Pistons good for 2. It has been nip and tuck through the first half.
No kidding. I mean, neither team has been able to hold the lead for any length of time, guys.
Steve, so close.
Well, such a seesaw affair back and forth. I mean, this has been an unbelievable game to watch.
First personal foul, team's third.
Here is Hodges. Pass to Paxson. For the 3, and that one's good. He has 5.
Paxson, a dangerous long-range shooter, made some big shots for this Bulls team over the years.
Here's Dumars, and the pinpoint pass there by Isiah.
Hey, you got to close out on Dumars at the arc. A career 38% three-point shooter.
Thomas against Paxson. Isiah Thomas covering. Money shot. Rebound by the Pistons.
Boy, Rodman was such an incredible rebounder. And I think in his prime, he was the best rebounding forward in NBA history.
Paxson against Thomas. It's stolen, and they're pushing it up. All going up court. Rodman. Chicago trailing here. And here's Paxson.
2 minutes remaining.
Davis against Lambeer. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Paxson. And the layup is good. He's got 7. And Steve, if anyone knows Rodman, you do. He's listed at 6'7". He's about 230 pounds. Not the biggest guy by NBA standards. And Clark, you played against him. You know his game. How is he able to be so dominant on the board?
Well, Kevin, I've talked about it before. Rebounding is more about tenacity, timing, and positioning than it is jumping ability or strength. Now, he was athletic, clearly. He had a tremendous motor. He had a hunger and desire to get after the orange. He didn't mind contact. And as a result, he was able to get rebounds that most people couldn't come up with. And he averaged 13 rebounds a game for his career because he was gifted in those areas that I just talked about.
Rodman grabs the miss. Goes up on the high post. The shot's good from Paxson. And it's a 3-point Bulls lead.
Paxson was just an absolute deadeye. In fact, as a jump shooter, he shot nearly 50% from the floor in his career. Those numbers are remarkable.
He feeds it to Davis. Knocked loose. And they're on the break. Here's Rodman. The big dunk at the end of the break.
Man, that's the problem when you don't protect the ball.
Exactly. When you surrender the ball like that, you put your defense at a huge disadvantage.
Here's Pippen. Aguirre covering. Aguirre against Pippen. Back to Davis. Shot clock at 6. Paxson against Thomas. They get it again. Paxson, he's guarded by Thomas. Tries again. No good on that last second attempt there. We'll be right back from Detroit.
23. The Bulls. 21.